So you've activated WP Rocket, and now you're wondering, how do I get the best results for my site? Truth is, every site has a different theme, a different set of plugins, and different content. So the best settings will actually vary from site to site. We're going to show you the safest way to experiment with the most commonly used WP Rocket settings. You'll be a pro in no time. Let's get started. The goal is to make your site faster, and activating more options doesn't always result in more speed. So don't worry if you're not able to turn everything on. However, how will you actually know if your site is faster? Well, by speed testing, of course. And we have a dedicated video about how to do that. It's always a good idea to take some benchmark speed tests before you begin configuration, and then again afterwards. So first, let's talk about best practices. What you don't want to do is activate all the options at once. If you run into any issues on your site, you won't know which option caused it. So we're going to activate them one at a time. After you activate an option, there's also no need for you to clear the cache. We'll take care of that for you. Instead, open your site in a browser window where you're not logged into WordPress. A private or incognito window works perfectly for this. This is important to make sure you see the cached version of your site with the optimizations applied. This way, if there's any issue, you'll see it right away. Don't forget to check a few types of pages on your site. If anything doesn't look right, don't panic. All you have to do is uncheck the last option you activated, and your site will return to normal. Additional troubleshooting guides and videos can be found in our documentation. If everything looks good, simply move on to the next option. Now, let's talk about the actionable settings to enable. We'll start with the File Optimization tab. Minifying your CSS and JavaScript files to remove white space and comments is a best practice to help reduce their file size. You can combine all the CSS files used throughout your site into a single file. So if you had 10 CSS files before, you'll now have one. And you can combine all your JavaScript files, including the inline scripts, then load the combined file at the bottom of your page so it doesn't block the rendering of the page. Now, combining files may improve your score, but it may not improve the actual speed. This is especially true if your site uses HTTP2. So it's really important to check the speed with and without the combine options to find the right configuration. If you're not sure whether your site uses HTTP2, you can use an online tool to check, or ask your host. It's also possible that your CDN supports HTTP2, even if your own server does not. In the same tab, under Optimize CSS Delivery, you'll find Load CSS Asynchronously. This is an advanced option, and it may not be appropriate for every site. It really depends on how your site is built. When you activate this option, our external tool will visit each type of page on your site and generate the critical path CSS. This will help the perceived load time of your site. This is another advanced feature with a huge impact. After you've activated this option, WP Rocket's tool will start generating the used CSS needed to render your website. The goal here is to reduce the size of CSS in pages and to reduce the main thread work. Remove unused CSS is the recommended option over Load CSS Asynchronously. Deferring JavaScript ensures that it won't block your page as it's being rendered. After activating this option, make sure all the interactive elements of your site, like your slider or menu, are working properly. This is an advanced option. It helps improve your page speed score and speed up the initial loading of your page. The Delayed JavaScript Execution feature delays the loading of all JavaScript files and inline script until there's a user interaction, such as moving the mouse, touching the screen, scrolling, and so on. If you have problems after activating any option, you might be able to resolve them by simply excluding certain files. For this reason, We've created additional documentation and videos to help you with that. And congrats! Now you've configured the best settings to optimize your site, just like a pro.